Basanna DK, Associate Professor, Department of Physics, Vijayanagara College, Hospit. Now we will start another lectures, series 3, called as alternate energy sources in the BSc 6 semesters, 6.1 papers. Now this is the third lectures I am giving in the alternate energy sources. So that is called as what is the nuclear energies. So in the nuclear energy, let us start with some introductions about the nuclear energy. Why we will keep this nuclear energy as an alternate energy sources? This is the main questions arises here in this nuclear energies, because the nuclear energy means the sources of the nuclear energy is uranium, thorium and like that. But these are the consumable items. We cannot put directly in the alternate energy sources. So they have kept this in the alternate energy sources because the use of the uranium is very little and we have enormous amount of energy is released. Because of this, they have kept the nuclear energy in the alternate energy sources. In the view of tremendous potential this nuclear energy has, and with no other non-conventional energy sources providing to be that effective so far. While the fossil fuels are being exhausted at the rapid rate, more and more countries are trying to gain and enrich the technology used for harnessing nuclear energies. Our country is also not lagging far behind in these directions, and our country is also using these nuclear energies. But the sources are very less. Nuclear energy sources are very less, but the resources are there. You might be astonished to know that the transformation of 1 gram of uranium gives that much of energy that it can lift 6 million tons of weight for 1 miles into air, or this is equivalent to 2.5 tons of coal as a source of electrical power. For this purpose, the nuclear sources are used here as an energy, and this comes under the alternate energy sources. And little bit of nuclear reactions. To know this, we have to have some reactions and Q values here. All the nuclear reactions, in all nuclear reactions, the total sum of the mass in the energy is conserved, thus taking the equation A plus B is equal to P plus O. The target is supposed to be at rest of mass m1. The projectile has a mass m2 of kinetic energy E2. According to the conservation of energy, what we have here is in these equations: m1 c square plus m2 c square plus e2 equal to m3 c square plus m4 c square plus e3 plus e4, and the q values can be written like this. In this equation, we can write a plus b is equal to p plus q plus p plus o plus q. Q may be a positive or negatives. It means its values may be a exothermic or a endothermic reactions. Hence, we have Q amount of energy in this. And this nuclear energy, in the nuclear energy, we have a chain reactions. The chain reaction is a self-propagating process in which the number of neutrons goes on multiplying rapidly, almost in geometrical progression during fission till the whole fissile material is disintegrated. The nuclear reactions can be controlled or uncontrolled. So the example for this controlled chain reaction is the nuclear fission, and the uncontrolled chain reaction is called as the fusions. Okay, so we'll study one by one what is nuclear fission and the fusions. In the nuclear fission, the process of breaking off a nucleus of heavy atom into two or more or less equal fragments with a release of large amount of energy is known as fissions. It means, so I have taken one of the example here to explain what is called as fission. Suppose if we have a uranium, here is bombarded with a neutrons and it becomes unstable. When it becomes unstable, then finally it breaks up into two parts, nearly equal fragments, two parts. One is called as barium, another one is kryptons, giving a huge amount of energy, releases 3 neutrons. This is one of the example for the nuclear fissions that what I have taken. And we have so many reactions here to explain the nuclear fissions. And to another one reactors called as nuclear reactors is an example for the nuclear fissions. So in the nuclear reactors, what it is, the chain reaction, these chain reactions may be controlled by absorbing a desired number of neutrons, so that on the average 1 neutrons from each fission is left to excite further fissions. The number of fission occurring per second remains constant in the reactors. This is a reactors. So number of fission occurring per second remains constant. This should be a constant here. So in the nuclear reactors, we have a shielding here completely. This is a shielding called as a concrete wall, 2 to 3 meters concrete walls, to avoid the danger of radioactive rays. And inside the reactors, we have the fuel rods are there. These are called as fuel rods, called as uranium, thoriums are the fuels used here, radioactive elements. And this is a moderator in between, a moderators to slow down the nuclear reactions. Moderators are kept here. And also this is inside the fission chamber. We have one more here called as control rods is inserted in this fuels, called as fuel rods. And the function of this control rods is to slow down the nuclear reactions. If you have more and more energy here in the chamber, that can be reduced by inserting this control rod in between the fuels. If you want more and more energy, it can be lifted up. We have energy here. This released amount of heavy amount of energy will be sent from this tube and into the waters, and this is called as a heat exchanger. From the heat exchanger, the heat will be produced, amount of heat is produced, called as in the form of steam. This will be fed to the, called as a turbine. This steam is fed to the turbine. Finally, this turbine goes to the electrical generators. Hence, the current is generated using these reactors. That what I have shown here: fuels, moderators, coolant, control rods, and the shielding also. And this is called as what is called as the nuclear fissions. The another one is called as nuclear fusions. The nuclear fusion is a chain reaction here, but it is uncontrolled chain reactions. For a fusion is a process in which two or more light nuclei combine to form a heavy nucleus together with the release of the huge amount of energies. For example, when a 4 hydrogen nuclei are fused together, a helium nucleus is formed. The mass of the single nucleus is always less than the sum of the masses of the individual light nuclei. The difference in mass is converted into energy according to Einstein's equations E equal to mc square, what I have shown here in the equations. These are two neutrons fused together to have a nucleus, and the enormous amount of energy is released. To say this is fusion in the equation is easy, but to fuse the lighter nuclei is very difficult to fuse it. So to fuse this nucleus, that reaction we call it as the thermonuclear reactions. The large amount of energy is required to fuse the lighter nuclei, called as the thermonuclear reactions. The main difficulty in the fusion of a nuclei is the electric force of repulsion between the two positively charged nuclei. The fusion is possible only when the kinetic energy of each of the nuclei is large enough to overcome the repulsion. This is important, repulsions. Then only you can fuse it. The fusion can take place only at a very high temperature, around 10 to the power of 7 to 10 to the power of 9 Kelvin. The nuclei are able to overcome their mutual Coulomb's repulsion at high temperature and the zone of the nuclear attractive force. Hence these reactions are called as thermonuclear reactions. And finally, the distinction between nuclear fusion and the fissions. And already we know what is called as fission as well as the fusions. Hence distinctions. These are the definitions, this and this, nuclear fission as well as fusions. And it is carried out the bombarding with heavy nuclei with the neutrons. It is carried out by using a particle accelerators or by heating the light atoms to an extremely high temperatures. Such reactions can be controlled, and this is not controlled so far. Nuclear fission produces large amount of energy. This is also large, but much more than the nuclear fissions. So here it is produced a large number of radioactive products and the large amount of nuclear waste is left. Therefore it can cause the pollution problems. In the nuclear fusion, the nuclear waste is left, therefore waste is left, therefore it does not cause the pollutions. No nuclear waste is left here. Hence this is called as fission as well as fusions. This is all about what is called as all the alternate energy sources. This complete entire alternate energy sources. Thank you.